everyone. Welcome to Studio Y. My name is Stacy and I'm a yoga instructor here at the Y. So I thought today I would take you through a nice gentle yoga practice. Let's get ourselves set up. You're going to need a mat. Hopefully you have a yoga mat. If you don't have a yoga mat, you can still practice yoga. Just get a big towel or a blanket. Make sure you're comfortable. I'm also going to show you I'm sitting on a blanket here, so you can fold up a blanket or a towel, get yourself nice and comfortable. I also have 2 yoga blocks with me today. If you happen to have those, that's great. If you don't, they can be very useful for sort of bringing the floor up to you, or bringing the floor a little higher, propping yourself up. But if you don't have any yoga blocks, no worries. You can maybe use 2 big books, or even 2 big rolls of toilet paper will work. So, but if you don't have either of those, that's not a problem. All right, so let's get into our seated position here. Get nice and comfortable. And I thought we would start our practice today with some pranayama, some mindful breathing. It's super important anyway to have a healthy respiratory system. Now more than ever, I feel like it's really important to just really expand and use our lungs to the fullest capacity. So make yourself comfortable. You can sit on your blanket. If you are not comfortable in a cross-legged position on the floor, no worries. Go ahead and pull up a chair or sit in a chair for this, no problem. So we're going to just settle in, sort of get grounded in whatever seated position you're in. And then just relax your hands, lift the crown of your head, and allow your shoulders to sort of roll down away from your ears. And then if you're comfortable, just close your eyes, or you can softly gaze downward. We're just going to take a moment here to get centered and just get fully present. And just notice the breath as it flows in and out of your body. You don't have to change it in any way. Just breathe. Just do some breathing here. Just get quiet. Just feel the breath. That's all you need to do right now. So now we're going to sort of go a little bit deeper and take some fuller yogic breaths. So imagine, if you will, that your torso was a vessel, an empty vessel. And you're just going to start to fill the vessel very slowly from the bottom all the way up to the top, as if you were filling the vessel with water. But instead, you're going to be using your breath. So let's just start with mouth closed and start to inhale through your nostrils into your belly. And bring it all the way up as far as you can, slowly to the top of your lungs. Just filling that vessel. And once you're at the top of the vessel, you can exhale and release from the top down and go nice and slow. And we'll do a few more rounds. Inhale, draw the breath into the belly and bring it all the way up slowly. The slower the better. Just feel that expansion. Using the full lung here. And then you can exhale and slowly release from the top of the lungs, to the lower lungs, and then through the belly. And we're going to do about 10 rounds or so. And if you need to stop at any time, that's fine, or if this is just not comfortable for you. Otherwise, we're just going to keep going. Nice and slow, all the way up. All the way down. The more you can release all the breath on the exhale, the deeper you can take the inhales. do a few more rounds. And then just gradually allow your natural breathing to come back. Just start to let your regular breath return. You may notice your heart rate might be up a little bit. You might feel a little bit warmer from the inside out. Those are all perfectly normal sensations. All right, good. So now we're going to begin our yoga practice. So if you have been sitting on the same position and you need to just stretch out your legs or shake them out, go ahead, give your legs a shake. And we're going to bring them back into cross-legged. If you're still in your chair, go ahead and stay in your chair for a little bit longer. We're going to warm up the neck and the shoulders and the upper back. So find a tall spine. Again, root your sitting bones down into your blanket or into the mat or into the chair and rise up. Lift the crown of your head. Allow the shoulder blades to sort of retract down. Let your shoulders roll away from your ears. And now exhale the chin to the chest. Just allow the back of the neck to lengthen and just sort of gaze downward here. And we'll slowly roll the head back up. And we're just going to keep lifting the chin until your gaze goes upward and there's a stretch in the front of the neck. All right, inhale, take your head to center. We're going to exhale and allow the right ear to fall toward the right shoulder. Just feel that stretch. Only take it as far as is comfortable for you. And with your head here, just start to make some gentle little circles. Little micro circles. Just opening up on that left side of the neck. And then you can reverse the circle, go the other direction. All right, good. And then just pause here while that left side of the neck is nice and long. Take your left hand and just kind of knead out any tension. Just work your hand from the shoulder back to the upper part of the neck. Just kind of knead out any areas that feel tight. Good. All right, so from here, release that hand and we'll slowly come back up with the head. Let the shoulders retract down again. And we'll switch sides. Inhale and exhale the left ear toward the left shoulder. And just feel that gentle stretch. And we're just going to make those little micro circles here. Change direction. And then just pause here. That right hand can come to the neck. Just massage where you need to. We hold a lot of tension in our neck. We don't realize it. Really give yourself permission to massage that out. All right, let's come back up with the crown of the head. And again, let's let the shoulders roll down away from the ears. Good, all right. So next are the shoulders here. So we're going to just start with some shoulder circles forward. Just go up to the ears, forward and down. And if you want, connect your breath with the circle. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And one more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Good. Come back to a tall spine. We're going to go backwards with our shoulder circles. So inhale, lift. Exhale, lower to the back. All right. Good job. And back to center. Good. So from here, we'll take both arms up slowly. And just reach and expand. And then bring your palms together at the top and exhale to prayer. And we're just going to do a few more. These are called sun breaths. Inhale, and again, just sweep the arms up, palms meet at the top. And exhale, prayer. If you have any shoulder issues and it causes discomfort to go all the way up, just go halfway. Inhale up, exhale, prayer. And one more, inhale up, and exhale, back to prayer. Beautiful, and release, and just take a moment, check in, see how that feels. All right, so from here, even if you're in your chair, you can stay where you are, and we're just going to make some circles. Just circle around. And then go the other direction. Good. Come back to center. Inhale and exhale the shoulders down. All right, so from here we're going to take our legs out in front. If you're sitting in a chair, now would be the time to come to the floor. And you can move your blanket off to the side if you're sitting on a blanket or a pillow. And let's just take a moment here to send the legs forward, extend the legs forward. And you can keep your knees as soft as you need to. And you can also sit with your back against a wall if that's more comfortable for you, or lean into something behind you, a couch, so something so you have some support behind you. And we're just going to start to warm up our legs a little bit. So maybe wiggle around your legs a little, and then point and flex your toes. Just kind of wake up the legs, send some energy into your legs. The knees, again, the knees can stay soft, bent. All right, beautiful. So from here, see if you can point your toes to the ceiling and just maybe lengthen your legs a little bit more. Knees still soft if you need that. And see if you can lift the crown of your head up toward the ceiling. And if it helps, bring your palms into the floor here and just kind of roll your shoulders down, pressing your palms into the floor. So it's giving you a nice lift and length through your spine. And just feel that energy in your body. Nice long spine. Shoulders are over the hips. Take some breaths. And if you don't need your hands for support here to keep you lifted, maybe sweep the arms up by your ears and extend up. You can look up. Take some breaths here. This is a very powerful pose. This is called staff pose, Dandasana pose. All right, good. Let's inhale the hands to prayer if they're extended. And then exhale and release. So again, we're going to stay in this L-shaped position. And we're going to move into a twist here. So see how it feels here to kind of bring your right foot in, bending your right knee, and then see if you can step that foot over to the outside of the left leg. All right, so to move into our twist, we're going to support that bent knee with your left hand, and the right hand is going to come behind you. And give that hand a press into the mat so that your spine lifts. Try to keep your left toes pointed to the ceiling. We're going to just slowly make our way into a little bit of a twist here. And you can sort of gaze over that right shoulder. Try to stay lifted and long in your spine. That back hand will help you to stay lifted. Take some breaths. Good, all right. We're going to exhale our way back slowly to a forward position. And then we'll send that right leg back out again. And again, just shake out the legs. All right, let's do that whole thing on the other side. So sliding that left foot in and stepping it to the outside of the right leg. Right toes are pointed if that's available to you. And that left knee, that right knee can be bent if you need it. Left hand pressing behind you into the floor. Tall spine. Exhale into that twist. Holding on to that left knee, left leg with the right hand. And just breathing here. when you're ready, just exhale your way back to center. And once again, feet come forward, legs extend. And you can point and flex your feet one more time. And we now will transition to one more seated pose on the floor. And this is butterfly or bound angle pose here. The soles of the feet are going to connect. And you can decide how far away you want your heels to be. So sort of explore that. And just let your knees fall open as best you can. If it means bringing your legs or feet a little further from your body, that's fine. Or maybe explore bringing them closer. And we're trying to stay upright and lifted in our bodies. So kind of explore that. Maybe the heels come in, the spine lengthens, and then just allow the knees to kind of open up here and just fall open as best you can here. And just explore the pose. Sometimes you settle into the pose, take some breaths, and then you find you may be able to go a little bit deeper. So just come into your version of bound angle pose and just breathe here. And this kind of opens up the pelvis, the hip flexors. Try to keep the crown of the head lifted. Let the knees fall open as you exhale. Good. This is a really opening pose. Alright, so one more here. We're going to take our little butterfly pose, hold onto our feet for support, and maybe just draw the chest forward a little bit without rounding the spine. Just to get a little bit deeper in. And just check in. We don't ever want to feel pain in any yoga poses, so if you have pain, that's your body saying back off. Sensation is okay, so just kind of know when to back off, when to hold the pose, listen to your body. And when you're ready, just inhale and come back up. All right, good. So this is sort of our warm-up for our next pose, which is child's pose. So child's pose, you're just going to kind of flip over and face downward, come to your hands and knees, I'm going to move my blocks, stack your hands underneath your shoulders, stack your knees a little bit wider than hip width distance, let your big toes touch, and then exhale and just draw your hips back and release your forehead. So you can release your forehead to the mat or to the floor, or you can stack up your hands, or you can make fists and stack up your fists like a pillow, or you can use a pillow. And then just explore. Maybe it would feel better to take your knees wider or less wide. So just explore. And then just let your body sort of open up here in child's pose. And if child's pose does not work for you at all, no worries. Sometimes flipping a pose over is all you need to do to make a pose work for you. So maybe child's pose on your back works better for you. Okay, so find what works. I'm just going to connect back to our breath in child's pose. This is a very introspective pose. Taking a few more breaths. And then you can just inhale and come back up to that hands and knees position. So this is tabletop. So tabletop position, we want to make sure we're in nice alignment here. Fingers are spread nice and wide, and the wrists are directly underneath the shoulders. The knees are underneath the hips. And if you need a little more cushioning under the knees, set up your blanket. Okay. So once you find your table, we want to have a nice flat back, neck in line with spine. We're going to start to circle around. So just make some rotations here. Now, if as you rotate, it feels uncomfortable on your knees, or you can hear any cracking or discomfort in you feel discomfort in your knees, then just make kind of a half circle. See if that helps. Otherwise, we're just going to circle around and really loosen up the spine here. Should feel really good. And you can make small circles, big circles, whatever you need. And then when you're ready, just pause and take it the other way. All right, good. And then just find that neutral spine again in table. And let's come back slowly into another child's pose. Release, forehead down to your block, your hands. And once again, we're going to make our way back to table and still working on bringing movement into the spine. So again, get your hands into that alignment, fingers wide, knees under hips. And now it's cat-cow. So starting from a neutral spine, we're going to come into our cow pose. Belly floats down, chest lifts, gaze forward. And then exhale, cat, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Good. Inhale and come back to cow. Go nice and slow, gaze forward. Exhale, rounding your spine here, scooping the belly in. And we'll do a few more, moving with our breath. Cat-cow. This is back care 101. Remember, when we're lifting the chin, lifting the head, it's inhale, and when we're rounding, it's exhale. All right, good. And then back to that neutral spine. So our next child's pose is called puppy stretch. It's a little bit different than child's pose. We're going to keep our hips and our bum in the air, just where they are. And then just take your arms forward, your hands forward. And then let your forehead touch the mat and your elbows touch the mat. You can take your knees a little bit wider if you like, so your hips are still up in the air here, unlike child's pose where we're back here. So this is really the chest opening up and the upper back. And see how that feels. We'll just take some breaths. Now just make your way again back to our tabletop position and spread the fingers wide. So we're going to now work on balance a little bit here. So this is really great for strengthening your core and just playing with our balance. And also a lot of focus here. It takes a lot of focus. So starting from a neutral spine, looking down at the floor, we're going to kind of engage our abdominals. So kind of pull your navel in toward your spine. And then inhale and take your right leg behind you. Just stretch it back. And if you need it, bring your big toe to the floor. Otherwise, keep that leg no higher than your spine. Find balance here. And come back to your breath, nice relaxed breathing, and maybe the opposite arm, the left arm comes up. Now that big toe can come down, and we're just going to stay in our balance and breathe, relaxed breath. Smooth breath equals strong pose. And when you're ready, just release out of the pose, and we'll come back to child's pose just to reset. Also give our hands and our wrists a little rest. And then let's just make our way up. Before we do the other side, let's just come into a reverse prayer position. So kind of bring the back of your hands together. So your fingers are pointing in towards your body. And that will kind of counter stretch any discomfort in your wrists. All right, so now back up to our table again. Fingers are spread, knees under hips. We'll take balance on the other side. Draw that navel in toward the spine. And on the inhale, that left leg extends, nice and long and strong. Balance in the body, balance in the breath. Maybe adding that right arm, extending it forward. And again, that big toe of the left foot can come to the floor if that helps. And when you're done, just exhale, release out of the pose, and let's take our child's pose. And let it go. Let go of any of that effort. Just exhale it away. All right, good job, guys. I'm going to turn forward here. You guys can stay where you are. And our next pose is a wonderful stretch for the side body. So we're going to make our way back to the hands and knees. And this time we're going to take the right leg and extend it out to the side. And see if you can just roll up. And you can, again, place a blanket under that left knee if you need to. So the hips and shoulders are facing forward, and that right leg is placed facing out to the side. Shoulders back and down. Now if you caught any of my chair yoga class from yesterday, we did the same pose in the chair. So this is called gate pose, and this is going to give us a beautiful stretch down the side body. So we're going to start with shoulders down away from the ears, right leg out to the side, and that the right hand is just going to rest on that extended leg. We're going to roll the left shoulder down with the palm facing up, and then inhale and take that left arm up, and maybe the right hand slides down the leg a little bit, and you're feeling this beautiful stretch down the whole left side of the body. Now you have the control. If it's too much, don't go so deep. And generally we hold a pose for 3 to 5 breaths. So when you're ready, you can inhale and make your way out of the pose. Exhale that left arm down. And now we're going to walk our hands back down under the shoulders. Bring that right knee back to the floor. Cat-cow for a few rounds just to reset the spine. Exhale, round. Inhale, cow, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, cow. And then back to our table. And the left leg will extend out. We'll roll back up. Just take a moment here to get into your alignment. Shoulders are down. Left hand extends onto the left leg. Right hand goes down. Right palm is open. On the inhale, that right arm will sweep up and over. Maybe that left hand slides down the leg a little bit. Now be mindful not to kind of collapse down here. If you're collapsing, don't go so deep. Just breathe. Feel the space you're creating down the side body here, the lateral body. And when you're done, just inhale your way out of the pose. Exhale, release that right arm. Hands come back to the mat. Left knee comes back. Hands under shoulders, fingers spread, cat-cow. All right, so we have one more here on our knees, coming up to a kneeling position. Feel for your hip bones here, and that's where you want your knees to be, directly underneath your hip bones. Good, take your arms out into a T position. Let the shoulders retract down. And we're just going to turn our palms to the back of the room. Release your hands behind your back. And we're going to reach for opposite elbows here, or opposite forearms, allowing the shoulders to retract down. We're taking a pose called camel. So this is sort of a variation of camel, a little bit gentler on the body than full camel. So we're going to inhale, gaze up, lift the chest, and then allow the forearms to kind of press into the low back to create a little bit of a back bend here. Chest is lifting upward. And just breathing, you're going to feel expansion in your shoulders, your collarbones. And just breathe here. Forearms are protecting your low back. Good, and then when you're done, just gaze forward, release your arms, come back to a tall spine, roll the shoulders down, take a nice sun breath here, inhale up, and then exhale, prayer, hands come down, cat-cow. Good. So we're going to move into our first down dog position. So for those of you who are fairly new to down dog, or have never done down dog, you want to get into alignment first before coming into it. So shoulders over wrists, fingers wide, we call it starfish hands, and the knees are directly below the hips. So right about here is where you want your feet to be when you're in down dog. When your knees are below your hips, your feet are probably in the right spot. So curl your toes here and just lift your knees off the mat. You're in a triangle shape, and then sort of press or push back into your hips and heels. Take the weight off of your front body by sending your energy into your back body. And you can keep your knees soft here. So we want to just start by just shifting our weight into that direction. So sending your hips to the back of the room. And now we're going to start to pedal the heels. So just kind of let your heels gently press to the floor. If this is not working for you, if down dog is not really available to you, then come into that puppy stretch. Very similar mechanics, if you can see. Puppy stretch and down dog. So just kind of pedal, warm up your hamstrings a little bit more, explore your first down dog, spread those fingers and flatten your hands, create a nice base of support. And now we're going to move out of the pose by walking the feet to the hands, or walking the hands to the feet, your choice. Bend your knees a lot, and see if you can just release into a forward fold here. Now, this is where you may want to use some props, maybe some blocks, or your toilet paper. I'm going to turn forward and come into a forward fold. Knees are as soft as you need them to be. And let the upper body just release. Take some breaths. If it feels good, you can add some movement into it. You can rock. If you're using blocks, maybe dialing them down, or maybe no blocks. And maybe bringing your hands to your legs if that feels better. So just explore a forward fold. And this is super good for releasing your neck muscles, your spine. So really try to let go as much as you can with your upper body. The legs are really doing all of the work. All right, good. So from our forward fold, we're going to slowly roll up. So I like to walk my hands up my legs like a ladder and really come up slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Really, really slowly. Head comes up last. And then find that standing position. Good. So we're moving into our mountain here. So mountain pose, we want to be really aligned. Feel those hip bones. And then stack the knees under the hip bones, the ankles under the knees, and then the feet with the toes pointing forward. So there's a real sense of alignment and balance here. Shoulders roll down away from the ears. Crown of the head lifts. So you're feeling this sense of grounding and also this sense of expanding and lifting upward. So rooting and grounding at the same time. I'm going to roll the shoulders down, turn the palms forward, and exhale away any tension you're holding in your body. Knees, fingers, jaw. So there's strength, there's balance, there's stability, but there is also a sense of ease. Let's take it to an extended mountain. Just slowly extend your arms up. And exhale, let your shoulders retract down. Maybe you send your gaze up. Again, check in that your knees aren't locked. And then exhale, release the arms. Good. All right, we're going to take our first warrior pose. We're going to do warrior 1 and warrior 2. So warrior 1, you're in your mountain here, but bring your hands to your knees. To your hips. And we're just going to, I'm going to step to the top of my mat. We're just going to find your mountain and then just send your left foot back with the left toes sort of facing slightly to the right, but not all the way open, so that your front body is facing the front of your mat. So we want to make sure your hips and shoulders are forward facing. Knee, hands to hips, shoulders down. We're going to send that right thigh forward till the knee stacks over the ankle. And really feel the sense of grounding and stability with your lower body. Good. Now you can inhale and take your arms up. And exhale, let your shoulders retract down and just breathe. This is a very empowering pose. Really great for your legs, strengthens the legs. Good. Inhale, take your hands to prayer. And now to step out of the pose, hands to hips. Back foot is just going to step forward. Good. And back to your mountain. We're going to do that whole thing on the other side. Hands to hips, mountain pose. I'm going to step that right foot back. And again, just turn those right toes out slowly and get your hips and shoulders facing forward if they're not. Send that left thigh forward, stacking knee over ankle, rooting the feet down, lifting the crown of the head, shoulders down. Build that foundation. And now inhale, take it out. Exhale, shoulders down. As you exhale, really let your body kind of drop into it. Inhale, prayer. Hands to hips, and then step that back foot forward, and return to your mountain, shoulders down. All right, so warrior 2, you're going to be you can turn so that your feet are on the wide side of the mat, so that you're in a straddle position with both feet on your mat. I'm just facing forward so that you guys can see me. So come into a straddle with on the long side of the mat, toes pointing the long side of the mat, and get yourself centered. Unlock your knees, hands to hips. And take a moment to feel this sense of balance on both sides of the body and a tall spine. So this is how we want to feel in the pose. So we're going to now turn your right toes to the right side of your mat. Send that right knee over the right ankle. You can use the right hand to open up that knee. And then take your arms out wide. Good. Let your body sort of drop into it, and you can send your gaze over that right hand. Okay. So you're still very much centered in the pose and balanced. That right knee is pointing towards that right side of your mat. The left toes are pointing to that long side of your mat, and the outer blade of the left foot is really your anchor. 2 more breaths. Exhale, release the arms. So from here, just straighten that bent knee. Turn that right foot back to the side facing the long side of your mat, hands to hips. We'll switch sides. So hands are on the hips. The left toes turn toward the left end of your mat. The left knee bends over the left ankle. Staying in our alignment. Arms float out into a T position here. If your knee is collapsing, use your hand to open it up. Gaze over that left hand. And exhale, drop into it. Breathe into your body. can straighten that left knee, turn your toes forward, and we're just going to kind of heel toe the feet back together. Good. Take a big sun breath here. Good. We're going to make our way back to our mat. All right, so just come into a seated position here. Cross-legged, or you can sit back in your chair if that's more comfortable for you. Let the shoulders roll down away from the ears. Take some breaths. Bring your breath back to a nice, relaxed state. I'm going to roll slowly onto our back. So kind of lay yourself down and draw the knees into the chest. Bring your hands to your knees. I'm going to turn to the side. And make some rotations or circles. Knees are together. We're just rotating or circling the knees. Go the other way. Just give your low back a nice massage into the mat. It should feel good. And then just take your arms into a T position here with the palms up, or you can do goalpost arms or cactus arms with the elbows bent and the fingers pointing up. And we're just going to let the knees roll one knee at a time over to the right, maybe resting your bottom leg on a block or a book or a roll of toilet paper, and turn your head to the left. And just let that left shoulder relax with each exhale. So this is a reclining twist. Really rinses out your body. Now let's roll onto our back again, knees to chest. And we'll go to the opposite side. One knee rolls at a time to the left side as your head turns right. And once again, just exhale, let that right shoulder relax. Inhale as you slowly roll back to center, and just give your knees one big hug into your chest and gently rock a little bit here from side to side. All right, let's release the feet to the floor, and then you can either let your soles of your feet come together or extend your legs down, maybe sliding a blanket or some props under your knees if that feels better for you. And just letting yourself come into a nice reclining position, palms open. Close your eyes and let your body start to release. Just let go here. With each exhale, I'm going to roll up and just guide you through it. With each exhale, just let all the muscles in your body release into the earth. Just give yourself permission to really let go here. Relax the muscles in your feet, your legs, your hips. Relax your low back, your upper back. Relax your shoulders. Relax your arms, relax your wrists, your hands, relax all your fingers, release your jaw, soften the muscles in your face, on your eyes. Allow your whole body to be completely relaxed. When you are ready, you can make some little movements, fingers, finger movements, wiggle around your toes. And just gently roll over when you're ready onto one side. And slowly, maybe keeping your eyes closed, just make your way back up into a seated position. Take as much time as you need. All right, great. Just take a moment to check in, see how you're feeling. All right, okay, let's bring our hands to prayer position. If you'd like to join me. And end our practice with Namaste. Inhale. Exhale, bow your head. Namaste, as I bow to the light and spirit that shines in you. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Have a good rest of your day. Stay well. And hope to see you in another class. Just check in, check our Facebook page, our website to see more great classes, as well as subscribing to our YouTube channel. So thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.